We finished off with 31A yesterday. I'm assuming you were able to do B on your own?
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay. The one part I did, yes, I did solve with you guys. All right, so I am moving on then to the next page. And it's asking us to plug into the form here. Now, of the formulas I'm giving you, is quadratic formula one of them?
No.
It is not. You will need to know that. It does not mean writing it on your desk because I will be coming around and checking. What is the quadratic? X equals negative B.
Plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4.
On my laptop. Thank you. Over. Yes, this is one you should have had memorized already. Please stop. Right now I'm on the back page just so I have room to write. I don't know if you guys have a back page. I have a blank back page. You may not. All right. You need to also know the LOS, or axis of symmetry formula. X equals negative B over. And if you're finding the vertex, it's negative B over 2A. And then what do you do with this to find the corresponding Y value?
You plug it in.
Plug in. All right. That stuff you'll need to know on your own. So with that being said, I'm going to open up to this page here. No? So. This right here. Comma y, negative b over 2a, comma y. And you find y by plugging in this into your original equation. All right. So taking a look here, what is A, what is B, and what is C? A is what? 3. What is B?
-5.
And what is C?
-1.
So x equals opposite. Since they already have the opposite sign there, usually I take B and I say, what's the opposite of this? And we write +5. But since they have the opposite sign outside, do I need to put -5 in the box?
No.
Yes.
Yes, because I'm taking the opposite of whatever B is. Minus -5 squared minus what goes here? 4. 3, because that's the A, and then -1 because that's the C, all over 2 and 3, 2A. X equals negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. What's the opposite of -5? +5, square root. What's -5? Yes. -5 times -5. 25. Now I'm going to be careful here. Ignore the negatives for now. What's 4 times 3 times 1?
12.
Put the earbuds away, guys. I can still hear it. All right. What? Okay. Is it +12 or -12? Plus. And I have a lot of kids still messing that up. You want to be careful. It's plus because it's minus and then a negative, and it becomes plus. Do you see that? All over 2 times A, which is what? 6. All right. 5 plus or minus the square root of, what's 25 plus 12? 30 what?
37.
All over 6. Does 37 break up into anything that comes out? No. I have a quick question for you. Don't change yours, but what if? What if on the final you end up with something like this? And this is as far as you can go. Nothing breaks out of the radical. Are you allowed to reduce these two? No. You can only reduce if you have a coefficient here that is also divisible by, in this case, 2. Got it? I'm going to put that number back. What was it? 5. All right. So that is your answer. Okay, we're ready? do D as well?
I'll give you 37. Oh, never mind.
All right, just keep in mind, if I do one that I've already done, it's going to take time away from the ones at the end, just letting you know.
Just go at 32.
Okay, are you guys okay if I skip here, since at lunch you can you can do this one, which is similar to this one. All right, which way do I translate? Left 4 and up 2. And which way does it open? Down. It actually gives us some values of the quadratic. M of x are on the table. Sketch both functions. Okay, so this is opening down, and this function here is k of x, and m of x is 0, 5, 1, 0, 2, negative 3, 3, negative 4, 4, negative 3, 5, 0, and 7, 12. Okay, it's way up there. All right. Do you guys agree that this is the axis of symmetry here? And this is the one here? All right. Questions on the two graphs?
Wait, how'd you get the one on the left?
This one, I just used this one here. I used translate left 4 and up 2, and it's opening down because it's negative.
Oh, so you just kind of, yeah.
You could make a T-chart if you wanted to. All right, the maximum value. Before I go any further, what is the maximum value? Is it the x value or the y value of the vertex? And I have talked about this. Why? Whenever they say the maximum value, they're asking for the y value of your vertex. All right, the maximum value of k of x is greater than the minimum value of m of x. All right, so let's label this. What is this maximum here? The whole ordered pair, not just the value. What's this ordered pair? Come on, guys. Negative
4, 2.
4, 2. And what is this one here? Positive 3, comma. All right. So for this part A, which values are we comparing? The x values or the y values?
X, Y.
The y, right? The y value, because it says the minimum value. Cody, you're paying attention? Okay, so the minimum value of k of x, so 2, they're saying that 2 is greater than the minimum value of m of x, negative 4. So they're saying the k of x y value, which is 2, is greater than the m of x y value, which is negative 4. Is that true or false? True. The value of x when k of x is at its maximum is greater than the value of x when m of x is at its minimum. It's specifically telling you which points to use here. What does it say? The value of x, the value of x. This one didn't say it. The key word is maximum value. Whenever they say the maximum value, they're talking about the y value. All right. So now we're comparing the x values. The value of x when k of x, that's negative 4, is at its maximum is greater than the value of x when m of x is at its minimum. Sorry. So negative 4 is greater than 3. Is that true or false? False. Both x-intercepts of m of x, this is m of x over here, both x-intercepts of m of x are greater than 0. Yes?
How would you get a justification for 32D?
Right here? Oh, thank you. I didn't even see this part over here. Negative 4 is not greater than 3. And over here in this one you would have had 2 is greater than negative 4. Thank you, Nate. All right. both x-intercepts of m of x are greater than 0? Yes or no? Look at where they're located. This is 0. Are they both greater than 0? To the right. Are they both to the right of 0? Yes, so that is true. What are the x-intercepts? X-intercepts happen when y is 0. Do you agree that 1, 0 is 1 and 5, 0 is the other one? Looking here, is that 1 and is that 5? And is 1 greater than 0 and 5 greater than 0? Yes. All right. The line of symmetry for k of x, that's this one here, is x equals 4. Is this line right here x equals 4? No, what is it? It's x equals negative 4. So is this true or false? False. And you can say something along the lines, the LOS is x equals negative 4, not 4. All right, the y-intercept for m of x, that's this one here, is greater than the y-intercept for k of x. Okay, here's the y-intercept here. Now, I don't have the y-intercept in picture, but eventually where is it going to happen? Up at the top or down way, way, way at the bottom? Okay, so we don't know exactly where. We could figure it out, but do we know it's down here somewhere? Okay, so is the y-intercept for my m function, that's my y-intercept right here, is it greater than the y-intercept which is down here? True or false? True. And you can put something along the lines, you can see it graphically. Graphically it shows.
Are they going to ask any questions about whether it's like wide, thin, or normal?
No. No. Her question was, will they ask anything about whether it's wide, thin, or normal? No, but you do need to know when it's opening up, when it's opening down. Positive and negative. All right, questions on Unit 12 before we move on to 13. Okay, state whether the statement is true or false. This is on the final, so you want to make sure you remember this. Quite a few kids, more kids than I had expected, missed it on the test, so I do want to review it. Can you grab the whole box out, please? If you didn't grab a scientific calculator, now would be a good time. I don't know. Here, you can put it right here. Now would be a good time to pick them up because you're going to use it on not only this unit, this lesson review, but also on the final.
Can you grab me one?
Is there any in that one? No. Okay.
That's top.
That is all. I told you guys, I asked you guys, I might have one extra in my drawer. I'll grab it in just a little bit. Who still needs one?
Can we put this back?
Oh, yeah. Who still needs one? One? Ooh. Ooh. I gave you one. Okay. Guys, I'm going to have to borrow from other teachers because I definitely don't have that many extras. So I need a nice high hand up if you still need one so I can count. Nice hand, high hand up if you still need one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. Do you need one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. No, I'll do it during lunch. I'll do it during lunch.
I know all about
Nope.
it.
Have a seat.
I'm all friends with
Oh my goodness. All right. State whether the statement is true or false. A probability close to 0 means the event is unlikely to happen. All right, before we do that, all probability ranges between what two numbers? 0 to 1 inclusive, meaning can a probability be 0? Yes. Can a probability be 1? Yes, so it's inclusive. The word inclusive means including. All right, a probability close to 0 means the event is unlikely to happen. True. When is it likely to happen? When it's closer to 1. All right, a probability close to 1 means the event is likely to happen. Is that what we just said?
No, you said.
Did I? Oh, sorry. A probability can range from -1 to 1. False. What is it supposed to range from? 0 to 1. All right, a probability close to 1 means the event is likely to happen. True?
Yeah, true.
Right. Likely to happen means it's closer to 1. A probability of 100 means the event will be guaranteed to happen.
False.
a probability of 1 or 100%.
False. There is no such thing as probability.
Yeah, I would cross that one out. That one's like a trick question. False is fine.
Is it 100?
100%. We'll put a percent there. Then we'll put true.
It's false. This is 100.
% We changed it to %. All right, yeah, because yeah, you're right. The next one does have %. Deal with it. A probability of 50% means that the event is equally likely to happen or not to happen. True. 50% means it's right in the middle. Could go either way. All right, questions? Okay, yes. Negative b over 2a. I'm going to show you one more time. X equals negative b over 2a. And then if you're using the line of symmetry to find your vertexes, which is what we usually use it for, you plug it into your original equation and find your corresponding y value. All right? Okay. Almost done with the packet. Moving on. Please tell me that some of you guys have filled these numbers in already, so we're not doing it now. Can you guys tell me along ice cream, what do you have?
39.
Everyone agree? 39?
Yeah.
Cake?
85.
Popcorn?
36.
Candy?
14.
And total, first total?
80.
And the third total?
100.
All right, and we all agree?
Yeah.
All right. Remember, and you do need to remember this, on a table like this, whether it's like this or the dice chart, that's a table as well. And means what? Overlap, and overlap can be 0. Or means what? You add and subtract the overlap. And given, we'll talk about as we get there. All right, ice cream or cake. Or means one or the other. You're adding and subtracting the overlap. How many ice cream lovers do we have? 105? 105 out of 300 plus how many cake lovers do we have? Is there overlap? No, there is not. What does that come out to be? 190 over 300 and 19 over 30. All right. First grader given cake. Now we had a given one right off, which is good because we get the practice. What about the packet? You, Mr. Lambert. Yes. All right. First grader given cake. Where do I focus first? The first grader or the cake?
First grader. Cake.
Cake.
What's that?
Cake. We always look at what comes second. So first grader given they like cake. So this is where we focus. How many people like cake?
85.
And only out of the 85 cake people, how many of them are first graders?
20.
So what's my fraction?
20 over 85.
20 over 85. Does anybody have that reduced?
Yeah, it's 417.
4 over 17. And I can tell a few of you are not paying attention. I don't know what to tell you. You're taking the final in just a little bit. So focus. All right. Popcorn given third grader. So this time, where am I focusing first?
Third grader.
So I'm ignoring everything else, and I'm only looking here at my third graders. How many third graders do I have? So of the 100 third graders, how many of them like popcorn? Not all my popcorn, just my third graders. 12, and that reduces to what?
3/25.
Thank you, 3/25. Cake and candy. So what does and mean? Overlap. Does cake and candy run the same way?
No, so 0.
They're both columns. Do you agree? So does there overlap? No. Popcorn and second grade. Is there overlap with that one?
Yeah. Oh,
Never mind. Okay, popcorn. Where's my popcorn people? Here. And my second graders are here. And is overlap. Where do they overlap? That's all I'm using is the 36. And now there's no more given, so I'm out of the total population again, which is 300, which reduces to 3/25. Thank you. First grader or second grader. What does or mean? Adding and subtracting the overlap. All right, first graders or what?
Second graders.
Okay, how many first graders do I have? 80 out of the total, which is plus how many second graders do I have? And is there overlap? There is no overlap, so it's what?
2/3.
Which reduces to 2/3. All right, first grader and third grader. What does the word and mean? Overlap. Do first graders and third graders overlap? No. So what's the answer? What's the word? What are they called when there's no overlap? Mutually exclusive. All right. First grader or second grader or third grader? Is that 100? 300 over, which would be 100%, or 1. Does 1 mean it's guaranteed to happen? Yes. All right, that's everybody, right? Okay, third grader or candy. Okay, what does or mean? We do what? Add and subtract. Is there overlap with third grade and candy? Okay, so how many third graders do we have? Out of 300, plus how many candy lovers do we have?
60.
Out of 300. And where's the overlap? What number did I count twice?
14.
Minus 14 out of 300. Anybody have that total?
146 over 3.
Thank you. 146 over 300, which reduces to something? 73 over 150? Yes?
Yes.
All right. Questions? All right. Do I need to go over the marble problems? A few of them? Maybe 2? Red marble, how many red marbles do I have? 4 out of 12, and you reduce to 1 over 3. Red or blue, I add and subtract the overlap. Is there overlap in a bag of marbles? No. So how many reds do I have? Plus how many blues do I have? Out of 12, out of 12. And you don't have to, if you just do 4 plus 5 and then write 9 over 12, that's fine. What does that reduce to? 3 over 4? All right, I'll let you guys do these. Would you like me to review the formulas? Okay, independent. Okay, repeat your question, Valente? Yes, because it's all. Is it all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is letter C? 0. Why is it 0?
There's no green.
There's no green. All right. This is another formula you will have to know. I think I just tossed those papers. When it is independent, P of A and B equals, this is where we do our multiplying. It's not the overlap. We can call it overlap, but we actually go through and multiply. P of A or B equals P of A plus P of B minus this product here that we just would have done most likely on the problem before. All right, so independence, the one that has more work. Mutually exclusive is nice because this one is 0 and this one you just add. So remember, independent has more work. It's not 0, you multiply, and or you add and subtract the product you would have done on the problem before. If it was mutually exclusive, which, should we just write that down now? Mutually exclusive. P of A and B equals what? 0, because it's mutually exclusive. They never happen at the same time. P of A or B equals P of A plus P of, Why don't I have minus P of A and B at the end? Because the P of A and B is 0. Mutually exclusive, so I don't have to worry about minusing. All right. Okay. I am going to flip this over. Are you guys ready for me to flip? Yeah. And I want to go back to that page that I was just on.
Okay, so I'm confused. Do you use like the quadratic formula to solve or like to find the zeros?
They're the same thing.
Same thing.
When you're solving for x on something like that, you're really pretty much finding your zeros. All right.
If it's a simplified, then you just like.
Right, and if it was simplified, there wouldn't be an equal sign. So you're only solving when there's an equal sign. All right, gentlemen, ladies, stop the talking. 0.6 times 0.35 because it says and. Do you agree? You do the work on your own. Not m means 1 minus the probability of m. So what's m?
0.35.
All right, you can do that on your own. L or m, what is the formula? P of L plus P of m minus what? Whatever we would have gotten there. P of L and m, which is this one right here. So P of L is what? 0.6 plus 0.35. Take what? Does anybody have what you got here for the product of these two? 0.21. So minus 0.21. Guys, stop. Not L or M, 1 minus the probability of L or M. Where did we do L or M? What number? Or what letter? C. So whatever you get here, you put right there. All right. Guys, let's focus. Can I continue?
Yes.
Mutually exclusive. Not R. How do I figure that out? Please don't say 0. 1 minus the probability of
0.
R. So 1 minus, what's the probability of R? 0.25, not 0.27. All right. Yes. R or S. What's the formula? Probability of R plus the probability of S. Why don't I have to worry about subtracting this piece when it's this problem? Because it is mutually exclusive, which means this part does not exist. It's 0. All right, so you can do that on your own. R and S without any work, what's your answer?
0.
Don't get carried away and put 0 up here. It's not 0 on this one because it's independent, but it is 0 on this one because it is mutually exclusive. Not R or S, 1 minus the probability of R or S. And where would you have done this problem?
B.
Letter B. So 1 minus whatever you got from B. All right, when you're done with that, flip your page. And I think we're on the last piece now, yes?
No.
A dice has 6 sides with the numbers 1 through 6 on each side. When one die is thrown, what is the probability that the result is 2? You're rolling 1. How many 2s are there on a 6-sided die?
Just
1. So 1 out of 6. The result is an even numbers. What are your even numbers on a 6-sided die?
3 out of 6.
3 out of 6. Yes, 2, 4, 6. 3 out of 6, which is 1/2. The result is a 7.
0.
Why is it 0? There's no 7. What was that? I know. Don't judge. 0, because there's no 7. All right. A coin has a head on one side and a tail on the other side. It is flipped 4 times. How many different ways can the sequence of heads and tails happen? Did you do your chart? Okay, so he did his tree. So is it heads, tails? Heads, tails. And how many times are we doing it? So heads, tails, heads, tails. Heads, tails, heads, tails. Right now, how many am I on? 1, 2, 3. And it says what? 4. Now, if you don't want to go through and write heads, tails over and over, can you just count the little lines out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So how many possibilities? 16. Complete a list of all the different ways. So there's more to this, so you will actually have to finish this off. I am not going to do the whole thing with you because you can do that on your own, but I will start you off. Heads, tails. So I'm just going to go and branch off. So the first possibility is what? All four of them are heads. Heads, 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 heads. Or it could be heads, 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 and then a tail. Heads, 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 and then a tail. All right, have I exhausted this H right here? I'm sorry, this H right here. Yes? H, 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 T. Next one would be what? H, and I mean, it's going to get complicated because you can go here, here, this way, here, here, out that way. And actually, we still have this one. We haven't exhausted it because there's still this one out here. And you're going to go through and list them. Yes? Complete a list of the different ways a sequence of tails and heads could happen. Oh, will they ask you on the test? No. Do you guys agree that's a lot of listing? Has anybody done it already? Are you guys, you did? Are you guys okay?
Same thing on the other one. Oh, no, it's not.
Are you guys okay if we skip that part?
Yeah.
Did I hear somebody say no?
I have a question.
Yes.
Not on every test we have extra credit at the end. Is that going to be on the final?
The final, we give everybody the extra credit. Everyone gets it. It's not in the final. At the end when we grade it, we give like bonus points to everyone.
What is actually?
I did it everybody's done it every year. Ahmad, we all agree as a team what we're doing. So your teacher did it, I did it.
So, like, are we gonna have any questions?
Shh, guys, I can't hear the question.
Are we gonna have any questions?
Where you have to say this, yes. Where you have to list them all, no.
So we'll just have to say like 16 possible outcomes.
Yes.
Okay.
Gentlemen.
I'm talking to Karen now.
Okay. What is the probability that when a coin is flipped 4 times that there's exactly one head, that there is more? We can cross this out since we didn't list them all. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Finally, time for our Venn diagram. Complete and label the Venn diagram with the following information. 50 people were surveyed to see if they like oranges, apples, or both. Oranges are my favorite. The results were 22 liked oranges, 35 like apples, and 15 like both. What part do I fill in first? Now, when I graded this test, a majority of the class, you guys were able to do this. I had a handful that were still struggling, and this was the biggest mistake I saw. 22 like oranges. Can I put 22 there?
No.
22 minus 15.
7.
And what does that give me?
7.
All right, and then apple.
15.
How many people like apples?
35.
35, so 35 minus, and what does that give me? 20. All right, so can we just quickly do a sum here? 7 plus 15 plus 20. Can you guys tell me what that comes out to be?
42.
And how many people were surveyed? So what does that mean?
8 people like neither.
8 people like neither. All right, so you do need to know how to fill all that in. How many like oranges only? Is that all of this? No, because 15 like both. So how many like oranges only? How many like neither oranges nor apples? And what is the probability that a person surveyed will like both oranges and apples? 15 out of everybody, the 50. Does that reduce? 3/10. Okay, questions? No questions? All right, we have a few minutes to go through and see, because as I went, I did most, but there were a handful here and there where I said, do it on your own, or kids still had questions. Is there anything that you still have?
Can we go volume of
Which one? 30C. I'll take them one at a time.
the volume of the sphere, like number 6.
One of the 20.
Okay, hold on. I can't get all the questions at one time. So let me answer Valente's and I'll answer yours and I'll take more after that. Okay. Which one? 30C. That probably would be easier. Okay, well I'm already starting. All right. Double distribution. What's 4 times 1? 4. What's 4 times 2i?
8i,
What's 3i times 1?
3i,
And 3i plus 2i?
6i squared.
6i squared. Now I had kids still struggling, well, why do you leave I if I is negative 1? I is not negative 1. I is the square root of negative 1, which is I. So I stays I. 4 plus, what's 8i plus 3i?
11i.
And then plus 6 or minus 6? And do I still have like terms? I do. Why is this negative 6? Because I squared is negative 1. All right, so what does that give me? What's 4 minus 6? What was it? Negative 2 plus 11i. And don't forget, your real number comes before your imaginary. It's the same thing. I won't have time to answer as many. Okay, what was yours?
6.
6. 6a. I did it. Do you want me to talk about it again? Oh, no, I didn't. Where's 6a? Oh, it's down here. Sorry. All right. Stop the talking.
What's the formula?
Okay. What is the diameter of a sphere with volume blah, blah, blah? Choose the correct multiple choice answer. What is the formula for finding the volume of a sphere? Anyone have it? Either in their notes, they looked it up online. How many of you looked it up in your notes? How many of you looked it up online?
I just know in my mind.
How many of you remembered it? All right. Yes.
How do we like cube root something?
Okay, good question. I'll show it right now. All right, guys, I really want to get through this one, so please stop the talking. All right, volume equals, actually, I'm not going to write that down. Please stop the talking. What is the diameter of a sphere with the volume of 288 pi centimeters cubed? Is this a working forwards or working backwards? Okay, I know the volume. V is 288. Please stop the talking. Pi. 4/3. Pi. Do we know what R is?
No.
Now, they didn't ask us for the radius. They asked us for the diameter. But can I find that if I find the radius first? Because, yes, the radius is half the diameter is what he said. What happens when I divide both sides by pi? And that's what we want. 288 equals 4/3 R cubed. Now, I have a lot of kids say, oh, divide by 4/3, which is mathematically correct. Personally, I don't like dividing by fractions. I'd rather multiply by the reciprocal, 3/4. Do you guys agree that 3/4 is the reciprocal of 4/3? Can you guys plug it in your calculator right now? You do 3/4, then your 3/4 with your fraction key, and then times 288. Or you can do 3 times 288 equals divide by 4. Either way, what do we get?
216.
216. Okay, the question asked is, how do you do cube root? I've never showed you how to do cube root in your calculator, and I don't know if you want me to show you I've shown you another way, not the actual cube root key. Okay, so I can show you the way I've shown you before. I can show you using the actual cube root key. It's plugging things in. Or if worse comes to worse and you absolutely cannot remember, can you take the answers that are given and times it by itself 3 times to see which one is 216? 5 times 5 times 5, 4 times 4 times 4, 6 times 6 times 6. Yes or no? Yes. All right. Now, since I've not, first off, I'm going to cube root both sides. R equals the cube root of 216. I don't have a calculator to show you how to use cube root, or let me show you the way I've shown you before. R equals 216 raised to what power? 1/3 or 3/1? Do you guys agree? We've learned that before, that radical is the same as the rational exponent. Yes or no? And most kids can plug this in. 216. Exponent key is here. And then 1 fraction 3 equals, and what do we get? 6. Now, would anybody want me to show you the actual cube root key?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is that only for spheres? You have to do that?
Yes, because it's the spheres are the only one that have the. Yes, not guess and check, but you can check. You can plug numbers in until you get it.
Can I just do like 12 times 12?
Yes. Yes, guys, that is another way. You just pick a number, multiply it by itself 3 times until you get it to work. Your fraction key, the same place that we've been using fractions. Shh, guys, are we good? Okay. One quick reminder, I would suggest you're in Classic because that's the form we've always used. Do you want me to put you in Classic or leave you? Yes. Hustle. All right, guys, any questions here?
I don't get it. I did it. Okay, that's a number. And then how do you put it?
Exponent.
Okay. Like
Exponent. Hit it. And then 1 fraction 3. Guys, any other questions? Shh, what number?
It's like 3, like the ones with the triangle and the plug in, like
Oh, yeah.
the root 2a and all that.
Okay, something like this. All right. This one's scratch paper right behind you. That big old, just give me the key pieces. Thank you. All right. Shh, thank you. Okay. Number 3A. What is the side length of an equilateral? This is from the very first page. Equilateral triangle with the radius of 4√3. Yes or no? Is that correct? All right. Do you remember what we've done in the past? We first make 3 big triangles, so we do 360 divided by
3.
which equals 100 and. So if this is 120, we cut it in half to get that triangle there. 120 cut in half is
30, 60, 90.
60. And it's always going to be the 30, 60, 90 or the 45, 45. But do you have to be careful with the 30, 60, 90? Yes. Because it's not always, the 30 and the 60 are not always in the same corner. Where does this go? The top corner or the bottom? Top. Which means the bottom one is 30. This is the 4√3. Where does the A go? Opposite the 30 and opposite the 60 is A root. Nope. Oh, it is A√3. Sorry. See, I almost confused myself. And this one is 2A. And what I almost did is where kids get confused because they're like, oh, wait, that's a √3, and then they get confused on how to label. It's 2A. Does it matter if there's a √3 there? Every now and then they throw us that curveball. We need to know how to address it. What does A equal? What do I divide both sides by? 2. And that divides nicely. What is that? 2√3. All right. They asked for a side length. And I told you guys this the other day. When I give you all the formulas, the 30, 60, 90, I will not give you. That you need to remember from first semester. I'll give you like the apothem formula for the area, but I'm not going to give you the 30, 60, 90 formulas. All right. But how many of you guys feel like you've got that? Like we've done it enough times where you know which one's A, which one's 2A, which one's A√3. Very few hands went up. All right. Shh. Guys, we're going to continue. They're asking for one side length. What piece of my triangle would I need to find? The A√3 side or the A side? So I'm not, this here is the apothem. I'm not looking for the apothem. I'm looking for this. Now, A is what? So I have 3√3 times √3. Thank you. Thank you. And I love when you guys are paying attention. Do you guys see why it's 2√3 times √3? Yeah. A, which is 2√3, times that √3. And what's √3 times √3 without saying 9? 3. Do you agree? Yeah. Because the square root of 9 is 3. And 2 times 3 is?
6.
Is 6 my answer? No, this is 6, which means the whole side length is 12. And they even have a distractor of 36 because they found the perimeter. If they did ask for the perimeter, which they didn't, but if they did, what would it be?
36.
It would be the 36. But they only asked for one side length, so it is 12.
45.
Yes.
So what like equations aren't going to be given to us?
The ones that I put back here, these will not be.
These ones?
These here. He said ones will not. These here, and your 30, 60, 90. You want me to draw a quick picture for you guys?
Yes, please.
6B. The radius of the sphere is 12. Find the volume. You just plug it in. 4/3 pi 12 to the third. I'll let you guys plug that in your calculator. But when you plug it in, do you plug in the pi? No. I would type in 4 fraction 3 times 12 exponent 3 and then equals. And then a tag on the pi at the end.
Can I see the formula sheet?
Yeah. I'm going to put up your 30, 60, 90s now.
Okay.
Yeah, the 30, 60, 90. You guys said you wanted to see that?
Yeah.
Did anybody do that one that I just wrote up, the 4/3 pi 12 cubed?
I do this right and type it in.
It looks right. 2,304?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. All right. Can I scooch this up?
Yeah.
Okay. 30, 60, 90. The key part with the 30, 60, 90 is it's not always going to be like, the 30 is not always going to be in the same corner. 30, 60, 90 or 60, 30, 90. Either way, the hypotenuse is always what? And opposite the 30 is always A. And opposite the 60 is always A root 3.
What about the 90 and 45?
I'm going to show you that one right now. So really quick, these two are exactly the same. They've just been rotated. So just know the difference between the two. There's an A root 3, a 2A. They just look different the way they're positioned. Yes?
Number 12.
Okay. Let me draw this last one. 45, 45, 90, which doesn't happen as much for us on these problems, is A, and A root 2. Why are these both A's? Because both these angles are the same base angles, congruent base angles, and it's an isosceles triangle. A root 2. All right. Which one?
12A.
12A. Is everybody done with this page? Can I move it or not yet?
I didn't get the top part. Yeah.
Well, she's doing that. I'm going to at least look at it. 12A.
The top one is called quadratic, right?
Quadratic formula. Yes, I didn't label that. Thank you for asking. Did I do it with you guys already?
No.
12A?
12A. You did the one right next to it, but it got used.
Okay. If the bell's about to ring, I will put it up so you can at least see it. Can you guys see it? And I'm only showing you that really, yeah, because the bell's about to ring. So what did I do here? 18 to the 3/4, do you agree? And 18 to the 6/4, do you agree? Yes? And then what do we do with the exponents? Add them. What's nice is they already have a common denominator, so stop it. What's 3/4 plus 6/4? 9/4. And then if the bases are the same, the exponents must be equal. What is x so that x over 4 equals 9 over 4? X must be 9. Do you see that? 9 and 9?